What's up, gang? Kawaii50 here with a quick little extra video for you today because there's some industry news related to Fate Grand Order that we have to talk about. Now, I'm sure you've seen this news following around already, but of course we have to go over it for those that haven't seen it. So, Aniplex is now acquiring the entire game development division of Delightworks, and this means that Aniplex will now be acquiring FGO, basically taking over some other production in its entirety with a new group of people that are completely owned by Aniplex, rather than just sort of the partnership collaboration thing they've got going on. Taking a look at this news article from Anime News Network, it says Aniplex and developer and Delightworks both announced on Wednesday that Aniplex is acquiring the entire game development division of Delightworks. Delightworks is first spinning off the division as a new company, and then Aniplex will acquire the new company and turn it into its new wholly owned subsidiary. Now, this new company will continue development on the Fate Grand Order smart game, and the production committee of the game will change to be Aniplex, Notes, which is the corporate name of Type Moon's creative circle, and this new, as yet unnamed company. This company basically replacing Delightworks, and this deal is set to go through in the spring. Now, before we get into what might potentially happen to FGO as a result of this, we've got to wonder, why did this happen? Well, I actually did a video a little while back about the likely reason this ended up happening, and that is Delightworks' handling of Sakura Kakume. Now, you probably didn't play Sakura Kakume because it only came out in Japan for a short time before getting completely canned, and this ended up as a result of a bunch of horrible mismanagement surrounding the game. So, I'll chuck that video down in the description below. You can check that out if you want to see some of the internal notes and memos about what a shit show Sakura Kakume was. Now, the reason that FGO has ended up in this state, Aniplex and Sony in particular make a lot of money from Fate Grand Order. Fate Grand Order is a very, very important property for them. To back this up, of course, I've got some data from Sensor Tower. Fate Grand Order in August 2021, which was the latest I could find, ended up having one of its best months in the past 2 years, generating $133.8 million in revenue, a 13.6% rise from the previous year. For the 6-year anniversary, obviously, the game has accumulated $5.5 billion. So Fate Grand Order being a money-printing machine like, say, Final Fantasy XIV, PUBG, Fortnite, any of that stuff, Sony's going to want to protect its investment. Sony's going to want to make sure this game doesn't fall victim to the same type of mismanagement. So it makes sense that they would go ahead and do this in order to try and ensure that revenue stream keeps flowing. Remember, Fate Grand Order is not ending with Lost Belt. They've already basically confirmed that in a bunch of previous interviews. But I'm sure there's a lot of worried players out there that are like, well, what does this mean for the game? I mean, there have been a lot of issues with Aniplex-related games in the past. Look no further than what happened with Magia Record on NA for a very, very real concern that I'm sure a lot of people have. But realistically, tempering our expectations, not going into the realm of alarmism, I generally don't think anything is going to fundamentally change with Fate Grand Order. I think it's pretty much going to be the same going that we've seen from now on. I think we're still going to have Tucson. I think everything is going to be pretty much the same for what has happened with the game, and that is just my bare minimum bar expectation, because if the game's still making this much money, why would you bother fixing what isn't broken? However, I tend to think this news is in the realm of neutral to optimistic, because if Aniplex is asserting more direct control over FGO with this new subsidiary company they're snagging, then I think that means there is potential for a lot of additional things that can come to Fate Grand Order down the line. I think this opens up a lot of potential for new minds to take a look at the game and maybe see if there's anything they can do to perhaps change it, well, for better or for worse. But let's go ahead and think about better. There might be some sort of potential for an NP skip function I know a lot of people really, really want to see. But then again, there also might be potential for things that players are not happy about, like PvP. I think we are going to see some changes coming to Fate Grand Order, but we're just going to have to wait and see. I don't think any possible thing that Aniplex could do will end up adversely harming the game to the point where it ends up ending or getting pulled. I just really don't think there's anything reasonable they could do that would have that end up being the case. But then again, this also means that if Aniplex is asserting more control over the FGO brand, we might be seeing more fake Grand Order projects down the pipeline. I know some players have really wanted to see fake Grand Order Arcade getting ported over to consoles, and I think that would be a pretty neat idea that would end up spreading FGO to a wider audience. So who knows, maybe there's potential for that. I know I personally just really would like to see a Arc System Works fighting game in the style of, say, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Give me that with my FGO, and I myself will be a very happy camper. But at this point, that is all speculation. Just know, TLDR, Aniplex has acquired FGO, likely as a result of the failures of Sakura Kakame, and I really don't think anything is going to change to a catastrophic point for the fanbase. I think we're going to be all right. But of course, I want to know what you all think about Aniplex acquiring fake Grand Order, so go ahead and let me know about those thoughts down in the comments section below. Let me know if there's anything that you might potentially like to see come as a result of this deal, and let me know if you personally have any concerns as well. Let's go ahead and let's get a dialogue going on the off chance that some highbrow Aniplex executive ends up seeing this video and can maybe implement those ideas. Remember, if the idea isn't out there in the ether, there's nothing that can come from it. If you want to talk more FGO, of course, my Discord server is always open. And I want to give a big thanks to the patrons on Patreon, the subscribers and followers over on Twitch, and of course, you subscribers on YouTube for ensuring I'm able to continue making these videos. Anyways, gang, this is Kawaii50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day. I hope you will deign to like and subscribe to me. I will see you all in the next video.